And in today's edition of Be Careful What You Wish For, we turn our attention to Galway. It wanted to be the woke multicultural capital of Ireland, and now it is.
Céad míle fáilte go cóirla cathrach na Galway. 100,000 welcomes to Galway City Council. As we apply that welcome to the customers we serve in the city, we are very conscious 1/5 of the residents of Galway are now the new Irish. Céad míle fáilte go cóirla cathrach na Galway. 100,000 welcomes to Galway City. We are very conscious 1/5 of the residents of Galway are now the new Irish.
Alright guys, let's go. A lot to unpack here. I saw this story exploding yesterday. It was all over the ethernet. Various people were covering it, various channels were covering it. I saw it going on and I thought, you know, I'll just take a breath. I'll take a deep breath and I'll wait and see how this plays out. And boy, was I right to do it, because this thing has evolved. Yes, it has taken on something of a life of its own, and not in the way one might have expected. Now, it's Galway, which I have covered for various reasons over the past few weeks. Galway is, let's just say, many people think Galway is the woke capital of Ireland. It's very multicultural, it's very progressive, very woke. It's got a lot of that kind of vibe going on there. To my mind, and to many people's minds, this is suicidal empathy in action in real time. But first, let's have a quick word from that bunch of nut jobs who are on Galway City Council, running the place. Take it away, guys.
I stand against racism.
I stand against racism.
I stand against racism.
I stand against racism at all times.
I stand against racism.
I stand against racism.
Seasan muid le chéile in ein chnéis.
I stand against racism.
I'm Councillor Ashenberg and I stand against racism.
We say no to racism.
I stand against 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 racism.
Yeah, all right. Good to get that bit in at the start, so we can set the stage, so we can just see where we're at with all this. That bunch of crazies there who are running, they're on the council in Galway City, and they are essentially running the place, or at least on a local level. They made that hostage video, as far as I can see. And they're absolutely parroting, they're crowing, they're shouting from the rooftops how not racist they are. As far as I'm concerned, and many people agree with me here, and more every day, the only racism going on in modern Ireland is racism against the native Irish people. That's the real racism. That's the truth. That is the absolute truth. And what these people that you just saw there, and all of the people, as far as I'm concerned, in government, in the NGO sector, oh, that's a cesspit, and the mainstream media, they're all complicit. They're all complicit in dragging us into the abyss. We were once a very safe, homogenous country. Okay, we weren't the richest in the world, we weren't the most powerful in the world, but by God, we had society, we had community, we had a kindred spirit, we had things we didn't even know we had until we lost them. Anyway, Galway is the poster child for losing them. And these people are quite happy to put themselves out there saying that they're glad it's all changing. They're delighted it's all changing. And now we're seeing in Galway what I take to be the rubber meeting the road. And that is you influx many thousands of people from backward, barbaric, brutal societies, brutal ways of life, who adhere to doctrines that are medieval or even pre-medieval, into a modern society, which Ireland is. And we have strived long and hard, and our ancestors gave blood and their life's work to creating that for us. What have we done? We have squandered it, and people like you just saw there are happy to promote just that. In Galway, yesterday or the day before, the train station, there was a vicious sexual assault. A grape is what it was, and it was reported in Galway, very locally. And what we do know, these are the facts, a man who was 27 and his accomplice, who is 25, are the accused, not convicted. They have to go through due processes. That's how we do things in a modern society. But two men, 27-year-old, 25-year-olds, arrested, charged with this heinous grape in Galway in a public place. A woman brutalised at an Irish train station. And here's the kicker. This story was reported locally, and something jumped out immediately to the more astute among us, which is you and me. The accused, and they are accused, needed an Arabic interpreter for the proceedings. An Arabic. Now that's not Johnny Riley or Betty Maguire or Joey McGonigal. They needed an Arabic translator to get the job done. Now this is where I put on my sensible trousers, because this is the channel of common sense, basic common sense, which until yesterday was the go-to norm in Ireland. Now it seems it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. There's a woman at the centre of this who has been brutalised, and my absolute sympathies are with the victim. No one should have to go through this, and until very, very recently, it was absolutely scarce material. It was very, very scarce. There would have been late shows devoted to this. It would have been on the 6-1, the 9 o'clock news. It would have been on, Joe Duffy would have discussed it and had people ringing in disgusted about what. Now, no, didn't even get past Galway. And I'll tell you even better than that. I was looking into this morning. Now I had screenshotted things, and I had saved things, and I had looked at various things yesterday to do with this because I wanted to talk about it. And I went in to refresh all of that this morning with my research partner ChatGPT, and I do have a very powerful version of ChatGPT to dig into the nuances of stories, because you really need to get to the bones of a matter if you're going to talk about it. And you know what happened? Here's what ChatGPT said to me when I went to refresh and to re-look at the Connacht Tribune, which reported on this, and Galway Live, which reported on this, which is linked to the Connacht Tribune. This is what ChatGPT said to me today, this morning, just an hour ago. I checked it properly this time. The awkward answer is, I cannot currently find several working written media articles on this specific Cant Station case. One current written report I can substantiate is Galway Live. No current indexed article on this specific August 1 case surfaced in those searches. All right, well, that's a thing. And before you all go rushing to get your roll of tinfoil out so you can make a tinfoil hat, I'm not saying that there's some kind of conspiracy theory to dampen, to suffocate this story, although there could be. But let's look at this other little morsel, this other little nugget, this grain of sand that's making the heap. What's happening over on Reddit? Well, it seems a little bit of this. Yes, on the basis of that little nugget there, and yes, I have done my own independent research on Reddit. It seems that information on this vicious, brutal grape in Galway City at the train station is very scarce. I wonder why. Could it be that information is getting suppressed, suffocated, disappeared? And why? Well, if this is the case, and I'm not saying it is, but it very well may be, I'm just presenting you with the evidence that I have found on my trawls, shall we say, through the archives and through the daily information that is available. And what jumps out to me is that a story was breaking yesterday, a terrible story, a brutal story, an evil story, a woman viciously attacked and viciously graped in a train station at the centre of Galway City, a public place. And because one detail just popped up. One detail that seemingly threw the whole thing askew, threw the whole thing astray. A rock in the pond, you might say. Yes, the alleged perpetrators, the accused in this case, needed an Arabic interpreter to proceed with the situation. Now that's an important detail, and everybody noticed. Everybody noticed in the much celebrated new multicultural Galway.
We are very conscious. 1/5 of the residents of Galway are now the new Irish.
Oh, how the councillors must be proud. Well, here's the thing. Until yesterday, in fact, not even until yesterday, even today, if your name is Paddy Riley or Jimmy McGonigal, they will not only have your name in the paper as accused, they'll have your date of birth, they'll have where you went to school, your first girlfriend, every time you scuffed your knee, and the first car you bought when you were 18. They'll have it all there in the Irish Times, the Independent, or on the journal.ie. But if you happen to be from a different, shall we say, background, and you commit a heinous crime, oh no, we can't have that. That gets in the way of the narrative.
I like to teach the world to sing with me.
Which we all here on planet Earth know and know to the fibre of our being is the greatest lie ever told. So what do you think? This story has gone in a direction, well, did I expect it? Not really, but I'm not surprised. It seems to me, maybe to you, you can tell me what you think in the comment section. Is this story a little bit too spicy for modern, progressive, multicultural Ireland? And let me just say, if you are thinking of visiting Galway and you happen to be a woman, I would just say, and I mean this sincerely, be careful.